Spark Infinity, how are you? I hope you've been having a fantastic day. We've got so many amazing interviews coming up, so I wanted to let you know what's coming. And I'm guessing probably even in just the next few days, more guests and more interviews are going to be confirmed. To be honest, that's why I'm here. That's what I'm most excited about is serving on you, sharing your great work, your artwork, your community, your projects, your music, your ventures, your businesses, whatever it is you might be up to. That is what I'm most excited about highlighting, and that's what we're going to continue to do every single day. Sometimes I show up by myself to share my stories or to share updates like this, but believe me, the reason we exist and the reason we're here is to highlight you. And one of the reasons why this pipeline is going to keep filling is because each and every single one of you, right now, there's 660 members in this Facebook group, and you may have no awareness of that, especially if you were one of the first to join. And by the way, we're so grateful for each and every one of you that has joined to this point and has stuck around and has interacted with the content in any capacity. As I've said a couple times before, though, I highly, highly, highly encourage watching these lives, at least some of them. I know some of them are a little bit longer. I know you're dividing your time between different content, and you got your favorites, and there's experts you like to watch. There's comedy shows you like to watch. There's YouTubers. I get all that. I have my favorites too, but maybe once or twice a week just to make sure that you know what's up in this group because there's going to be contests, there's going to be opportunities to showcase your work, there's going to be opportunities to be interviewed. Like I said, stay plugged in as much as possible because we're blowing up this year. I'll get to that, or I'll talk more about that later because I'm going to go through a few questions that have been asked as well. But the first thing I want to cover, like I said, is the amazing, amazing guest list that has been shaping up. And I'm telling you, like, there's more communication happening in the background, and there are more guests lining up right behind all these people too. So Friday, B'alam Onespot. By the way, B'alam. Not sure if I mispronounce any of your names. I'm sorry. You can correct me during our lives. You'll have ample opportunity to talk about you, your creativity, what you're up to, and the how to pronounce your name. So Friday, B'alam Onespot. I look forward to talking about art in Calgary. Man, it's been a while since I've been back there recently enough, but I haven't lived there since 2019. Looking forward to connecting with some of you Calgary folk. On March 1st, we have Vinaya. I don't know too much about this man beyond the fact that he looks like a guru. He has the appearance of a guru. I also know based on the pre-interview survey that he filled out for us that he's a very spiritual man. And we've enjoyed and have had multiple spiritually driven conversations to this point within this group. So excited and welcome to having many more, including with Vinaya. So looking forward to that on this Saturday, March 1st. That conversation will immediately be followed by another on March 1st on the Saturday. And again, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing anyone's name. Shamila, which I think is correct, and Himani. I don't know how to say that last name, but Shamila should be correct. So that's March 1st. And March 6th, this is super cool. From Muso Soup, we've got Chris Sharp. Here's someone that I probably should have talked to by now. There aren't too many people in, let's say, sort of the independent music market. Excuse me. There aren't too many people in the independent music market that I have not talked to or at least met. I've met Rick Barker. I've met Kevin Bruner. I've met Dave Cool. I've had Dave Cool on my podcast before. Not too many people you could name that I haven't talked to yet, but Chris Sharp's one of them. And we get to talk about music and PR. That's going to fill some gaps in my previous guest list and Rolodex. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's March 6th. And that'll happen during the day because he's in England and occasionally, I mean, we are already a worldwide group, guys. So if you didn't know this, there are people from Malaysia, there are people from UK. I don't even know all the places. I do know there are many, many Calgarians in here. And we're super excited about that. But we are already international. We are already headed in a very global direction with this group, which is super exciting. Later that day in the evening, so our flagship Thursday night show, March 6th, is going to be with Wakefield Brewster. I'm sure many of you know who that is. Many of you are in this group because of him, and many of you are looking forward to that interview, as am I. We're going to have a fantastic conversation. I'm not new to Wakefield. I don't think many of you are either. Him and I have collaborated and worked together in a variety of ways. Good evening to you too. My French has not gotten any better since last time, just so you know. But great to see you in the chat there. Wakefield is going to be back on April 3rd, so the first week of April, because it's National Poetry Month. And he's the one who suggested it, by the way. I should have thought of that because I'm like, poet laureate. Here's the person that we should have on the show for National Poetry Month. So Wakefield is going to be back. If you happen to miss them, and like, I don't know how you could miss anything because all these interviews ultimately get backed up on my YouTube channel and will eventually go on our website at sparkinfinity.live as well. On April 24th, my buddy Taylor McPhail, fantastic guitarist of Stonegate. He does some solo stuff. He's played in some of the same tribute bands that I have. All around great guy. And when I hear him sing, I often think to myself, huh, is that my twin brother? Like, he kind of sounds an awful lot like me, or I sound an awful lot like him. I don't know which it is. Him and I should really be in a band. I don't have a lot of time and energy for music nowadays. I'm surprised by the number of people, and honestly, I'm flattered. I really am, by the number of people who are still like, "Are you doing music? Are you making music?" And we've really come to a point where, like, I last year kind of dedicated myself to the whole music thing for about 2-3 months, just to kind of put feelers out there, see if people were still interested, see if I could get views on YouTube, see if I could do some guerrilla things to get my music out there. And it worked to an extent, but it didn't blow up massively. That's just how things go sometimes. But I'm not saying that was my last breath in music, not at all. I still play guitar all the time. I actually injured my finger recently, so I can't, I've had to rest I've had to rest this hand temporarily as I continue to work on my sweep picking experiment. However, I'm gonna get back to that, and I am still playing music. So, and I think that I will have some gigs this year too, which is also really cool. But if you think I'm doing it in the capacity I used to be doing, that's just not the reality of the situation. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that interview with Taylor. And by the way, if you think that's the last friend, or you've seen all my friends on the show already, I'm telling you, not even close. And there are just so many people and so many amazing people that I'm looking forward to having on the show. So that's who's coming next on the show. And like I said, I think a lot of those cracks are going to fill up in the meantime too, which is going to be a lot of fun. As for tomorrow night, our flagship Thursday night show, you may have noticed, although I'm not expecting that any of you are watching perhaps that closely, you may have noticed that we haven't announced anything for tomorrow night just yet. And I have so since this year began, 2025, everything has been go, 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 nonstop. I've worked overtime. I've threaded the needle with the Facebook group, which has grown from 5 to over 660 members now. I've been working on my books and my courses and my websites, and honestly, it hasn't even been realistic to get to all of that. I'm starting to incorporate some help and some teamwork into the whole equation, and that makes a big difference for me. But when you've got that many things going, and honestly, I don't even know how possible it is to do a whole lot. Just as I've gotten used to or have seen what it takes to do both the Facebook group, as well as my full-time contract at Big Tech. I'm hitting pretty close to capacity with those two projects without really adding a whole lot more to my schedule. That's what I'm realizing. That's why I've been reshuffling, and that's why I've been rethinking some of the deadlines I've set for myself, because that's been a really important thing. So since this year began nonstop, but the last 2 days, yesterday and today, I've had just a little bit of a lull, and I've been catching up on some rest, which actually needed at this point. So that's been a good thing. Basically, what I'm saying is I'm probably not going to put myself under a whole lot of pressure to try to come up with something for tomorrow night. I'm thinking about doing a replay. I'm thinking of honoring Brendan Hamilton, who unfortunately did pass away at the end of last year, kind of around Christmas time, and doing a replay with that. But I would be joining you to also watch that if that's the way things go. But unless some things change between now and then, that's the plan for tomorrow night. Yeah, thanks for the comment on this shirt. I purchased it because as I've been working at Meta via Tech Systems, we were given a gift card right around Christmas time, and I like to spend on practical things. I'm not really interested in headsets and that kind of thing either, so I decided to spend the gift card on the hoodie. Are you looking for more guests? That was a question, so yeah, I'm going to answer a few questions. One of the questions I got was, are you looking for more guests? And the reality is, kind of like I hinted at earlier, all of you are potential guests on this show. Every single one watching this within the Spark Infinity Facebook group, all 660 members of you have the opportunity to be guests on this show. So, are we looking for guests? Not exactly, but if you have curated recommendations, like as in that person has to be on your show, or that person ought to be on your show, or I want to hear you interview that person, make those recommendations because I'm all ears and I love to hear about that. Some of you have been asking, can I invite my people to the group? And the answer is yeah, of course, absolutely. We'd be honored to have more amazing creatives in here. And I just want to show you something. There is sort of a specific method, and we always send out a PDF document, or we at least try to send out a PDF document with every single person who signs up to be on this show, explaining how this all works. But I understand nowadays time is sort of precious, and a lot of people just don't go through it. So this is all explained within that PDF, but just to give you a quick demo, because some of you are totally new to us, this specific method that I'm about to show you is how we recommend you invite your friends into this group. We recommend doing it this way because, and especially if you plan to be interviewed, the algorithm is going to work on your behalf, find all the people who are watching your post on Facebook that you don't even know about, that who are secretly looking and watching and checking all your updates, and it's going to bring those people into the group. And then when you have your interview with me or with one of my co-hosts or cohorts, you're going to get way more traction and views. So again, those lurkers are going to come around, and it's not all lurkers either. Some of them clearly are not. What you want to do, the step-by-step process is you want to get your smartphone out. Okay, that's the first step. I know that sounds weird, or that might strike you as being different, but Spark Infinity, this specific process that I'm describing, it does not work on your laptop. It does not work on your desktop. For whatever reason, either these features are hidden on your computer or they just simply don't exist. So step one is to find this group, Spark Infinity. You can see the logo, you can see the name, Spark Infinity, Inspiration and Empowerment for Creatives and Creators. You want to find that group and go to it on your phone. And if you haven't already added yourself, add yourself. Next, there's a button that says invite. It's the button on the right. For me, I see a blue button called manage. It's not going to say manage for you because you're not a manager of the group. It's plain and simple. But you should see the invite button on the right. You want to tap that. Then it's going to take you to something that looks like this. You can see the third one down says suggested friends. You want to tap on suggested friends. And that is going to take you to here. You're going to see a search bar, and then on the right hand side, you're going to see, I was getting some text there, but You're going to see a blue text that says select all up there. You want to tap that. And then at the bottom, you tap on the blue send invites button. That's the specific process that I'm recommending. Yes. So this specific feature that where I just showed you, you can invite your suggested friends for whatever reason, only works on your smartphone. You can't do it on a laptop or a desktop, or the feature is hidden. Don't know why that is, just the way Facebook works, but that's what I recommend. And one last question I wanted to answer before I go on, and before I go and rest the rest of the evening. I'm going to enjoy that. Is what is your goal for this year? So some people have asked that, and I keep it pretty simple. People have asked me if I'm going to continue to share about my books, like there you go, The Renegade Musician. Yes, of course. But my primary goal for this year is getting 3,000 users or 3,000 members on in our group. Yeah, no worries about that. If you're on YouTube, of course, you can subscribe to my channel. You're more than welcome to tune in to these lives and to enjoy them. I'll have various guests on this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So feel free to subscribe. And if that's how you want to be or choose to be part of the community, I'm all good with that. So the goal for this year is to get our Facebook group membership up to 3,000. And if you follow the steps I just outlined, that tech little tech tutorial I gave you, if everyone pitches in and does that, especially our guests, because that's who we're suggesting do it. It's optional. No one has to do it. We're not forcing anybody to do it, but we're recommending that people do it. If they take that step, there's no way we can miss that. And in fact, I think even 5,000 members is going to be possible this year. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for the comments. And of course, we'll see you tomorrow night for our flagship Thursday night show, which, pending any other alteration, it's going to be a replay. But I'll still be here, and I'll still join you and watch together. We'll make it a watch party. All right. Have yourself a great evening.